Hello, Blue. Okay, so I'm gonna say that I'm gonna be a little nitpicky on some things, just because I do play a decent amount of Diva and Zarya. Pharah,
Ready for
not
battle.
amazingly, but I am an off-tank support main, so it's gonna be it's gonna be fun. Anyway, I think the main thing is just to start off for you to watch out for is your DM usage. So, and how long the DM cooldown is. So they changed it from a second to 2 seconds, and that was a hard thing for me to get used to because I was used to just being able to spam it, sort of just be like right click, right click, right click, which is something that you do a little bit of here, but it's sort of less effective just because of the 2 second window. And so what I've sort of transferred into doing is holding down left or the right click, or was I saying right left click, whatever, DM, holding down DM for about a second. So you get 2 seconds worth, holding it down for a second and then letting it up, and then if I need it again, holding it down for another second and then not having DM. But that usually gives me a little more benefit and also gives me a little more leeway on sort of picking up ults. So like a Zarya Grav, Mei, uh, Blizzard, or a Pulse Bomb. It gives you the not the like half-second window to get it perfect. You get a little more leeway of just like, oh, cool. And so it's once you get into the habit of like, oh yeah, the Zarya is playing hella aggressive, she's gonna grab, and then just even holding 2 seconds of DM on her when she walks up, you'll eat so many more grabs than being able to just uh, sort of on and off flick it. Because if you on and off flick it, she has 2 seconds that some that higher level Zarya's will be like watching the DM of like, she doesn't have it. Especially with the new DM coming out, it's so much more noticeable that they'll just be like, you don't have grav or you don't have DM, boop, and then there's no way you eat it. So it's just the yeah, and then um, yeah, I think you'll notice that in the first little bit of this.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Also, good job going with the Rhine here. No one else on your team did, but this is the correct choice.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down! Fully operational!
Okay, wait.
I'm gonna have to
One.
Good DM on the Fire Strike. Always DM Fire Strikes if you can. That is a good use.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down! Fully operational!
So also, I'm going to talk about this with Zarya a little later, but playing against a Mei, you have Fly. Your Ryan is getting frozen. If you boop him, yes, Mei's freezer pierces, but if you boop them away, he gets a little more protection. And especially from a Ryan swing or a Zarya, actually, a Mei freeze, a Zarya laser, and a Ryan swing, all you can't DM, basically. It's better if they can't hit him. So just fly in, boop them back, and then fly out. Oh, there we go. Nope, nope, there we go. That's just a really good way of peeling a Mei off your Rhine. Good DM here. Your Rhine is frozen. Perfect DM. So it's here when you are out of DM that you're just right clicking whenever you can. Uh, Save it for a good moment. It's better to have a second or even like a second and a half worth of DM than none at all or a half second worth, just because it lets your Ryan go aggressive for however long that he needs. And so picking up spam here is not something that should be your job. It should be picking up the hard stuff, and that's not what's happening when you just like click on and off.
APM 좀 올려볼까? Defense matrix activated.
So, since you said you wanted to shotgun a little more, I don't know if it's going to be you or if it's going to be someone else, but I want someone on the team who is alive, but also someone to call, even if you're not alive, actually, because you can spec them. So, calling if a fight is won or lost should be, if you, I would believe that you have the most time of playing this game, so I think you have the best chance of doing it well. And I mean, just playing with you, I know you have a really good chance of doing it well, is just like saying the fight is lost or the fight is won. And so that tells people if they should ult. Especially, I told Giga basically just to ult if she's playing Moira, just to coalescence basically on cooldown. So it tells her if she should ult, and if she hasn't taken in the bigger picture, then it lets that know. It lets Riley know if he's playing Zen, if a trans is a good idea. And I think it's a really just good directive of like, okay guys, the fight is lost, either feed or get out. Or just, sorry, not feed, reset, or if reset is the politically correct term, I guess, but reset or get out. And so I think if you can do that, especially with being on an off tank, I think you have a good feel, because a main tank sort of knows, but is also very tunnel vision on like, let me kill them. And if we have a DPS, they don't really know. I mean, and the healers, you can just be like, I can out heal all of, like when I play Ana, I'm just like, never, the fight is never lost unless we're down like 5. So, because I can out heal everything, and so that's just bullshit. So if you can call fight won, fight lost, it just tells everyone how to play, and very concisely just how to play.
Time to raise my APM. Get through this.
Okay, so spam damage, not your job. Moira orbs, your job. Fire strikes, your job.
I'm gonna shoot you down.
Damn!
Good eat. Oh, we're not at full speed. There we go.
Time to raise my APM.
So, I'm not going to say that you should have known that the Mei was going to ult, but, and I mean, he is bubbled, so there's not really you can do, but if a Mei is running at you or a Zarya is running at you, just hold DM on them, especially if you think they have grav. Just hold it the whole time, and because it's better to not have DM and not suck. Basically, the chance that if they are running at you, they're going to, especially, okay, yeah, I'm gonna just make the general statement for this competition that if they are running at you, they probably have grav or they have Blizzard, and so just hold it on them, because they'll probably just not see it and just chuck their ult into it. You were so close of getting out this. That's just, oof, so close.
Failing out.
Good instinct for the reset.
I'm not a good loser.
That's really a really good use of micros, just because you'll be able to break one. I think by yourself pretty, not easily, but you'll be able to do it before the 5 seconds is up. So good use of macros.
Box off.
You did pick up like 5 of those. Good job.
Mecha activated. Ice ball coming up. Fight. Defense matrix activated.
Good instinct. I saw the turn to run into the team. It's always a... Oh, well. Points up, but that was a good instinct.
Diva re-engage.
Next point.
Score 0-1. 1.
What an interesting hypothesis. What an interesting hypothesis.
Get through this. No. I'm gonna shoot you down.
Okay, that last use of DM was perfect. So it let him go aggro, and he didn't take any damage, basically. So, how Goats is supposed to work, sort of, on a very high level, is the Rhine, basically, you want to get your team onto them. So, like, let's say it's Goats v not Goats. If your Rhine and Zarya are on top of the enemy team, you have won the fight. And so the Lucio will speed boost in, the Rhine will just walk in or shield jump in, basically, depending on how far they are. But then as soon as they're on top of them, the Zarya will bubble. And then as soon as that breaks, you'll just spend 2 seconds of DM. And hopefully by then they are dead. But that last use of just like holding DM on him, perfect. That is how Red will get past his shield and be alive, because I like thinking of DM as just like healing, sort of, because they're not taking damage, so i.e. they're being healed. Sort of, I don't know how I came up with that concept, but that's just how I sort of think about it in my head, is like, I need to give them more health, so I'm going to DM them. And so if you let him, basically if you had full DM here, and you're just like, go aggressive, and you just full DM him, basically, he's going to be on top of them and just ruining their day. Also, that is something you should call, because you have the DM knowledge of, I have this much DM, and just be like, and that's something you and Frode should be just calling for the Ryan, is just like, go aggressive, I'm going to amp you onto them, and then DM.
Not yet.
Bailing out. Routing power to forward shield. No.
Okay, so good use, bad use of DM. You ate Diva's spam.
It's
Ejecting.
Okay, you ate an ult. Good job. There were double DPS ults. There's not much you can do here. Besides, I think if you were like right here, you could have eaten both, but that's just hard. It's a bad sticky situation. That's just not gonna go well.
I'm not a good loser. You needed a doctor? No. Ejecting.
So I think both here, both you and Lucio could have touched if you, if you flew over here and went on to point, but you both wouldn't have won the point, and so I think staying with your team was a better chance here. It's just you needed contest, but yeah, it doesn't. Sorry, this is actually a very quick.
Vamos esculachar!
Ready for battle.
I think we talked about this a lot, but as far take an off angle, don't stay with your team, and make sure the Mercy's with you, because Giga left you multiple times. I'm just very confused on why, but
Move back.
that is a good tech to know. Just with a pharmacy, very good tech. So see how you're keeping the Orisa from sort of setting up? So like, she's stuck out here, right? What is she gonna do to you? So you should be taking literally this angle, or even just flying on top of her and just murdering her, because she doesn't have a team right now. And so if you kill her and then take this angle, this is the angle that you should be taking, or even this angle, it's fine. Either one, if you want to play safer. This is a fine angle too. But this Orisa, you have a Mercy. She ain't gonna kill you. She ain't gonna do shit. So take an aggressive angle. That is the way you get your team, who are stuck in here on a 5v6, or a 5v, actually 5v4, with shit healing. So that's how you get them in more for free. And you get to just pound their backline with damage. So yeah, taking this angle isn't going to help anyone, because yes, you might kill the Pharah here, but if you're shooting into her shield, I don't know where the hell it is, but yeah, hi shield. If you're shooting into her shield, not helpful. You need to just be shooting onto point from an off angle so that they have to turn and look at you. Same thing on Anubis.
The objective is now. Gale the Mahal.
It's like even taking, so there's a health pack over here. Taking this off angle over in Dojo, I believe this thing's called Dojo, but taking this off angle and then just being in here and like pounding them, or even if you, because you're Pharah, being up here and just shooting down at them from over here, or even just rotating around and shooting it down from them. It just always be moving, always be just if you don't have Mercy, just rotate from big health back to big health back. Because your angle right here is shooting into a D.Va DM or a shield.
Clearing the area. I require healing. Back in action.
Okay, so we ran pharmacy here and pharmacy here. Both points still apply. Just be aggressive. Let's look at them all, because I think
Ready for battle.
Yeah, okay.
Together.
I
You're
do
on
not
Zarya
trust
here.
this Onyx,
I have.
and I do not like this place.
Oh, also, one more point for DM usage is, yeah, this was on like the last of 66, is if you hear an ult that you know that you can DM first, ask questions later. If you see a person, shoot first, DM second. Just because you're a big person, you don't die to one hit from anything besides Diva Bomb. But you don't die, and a Junkrat attack. But you don't die. Sorry, you don't die from any like auto attack basically in one shot. So always shoot first and then DM later. So like if a Pharah pounds you with 3 rockets, like 3 direct hits, maybe DM the next one, but shoot first, ask questions later, and if it's an ult, DM first, ask questions later. So faster, faster, faster.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Zenyatta is here.
Did you know you got an orb?
I'm under attack.
Shield holding.
Okay, throughout all of this on your Zarya play, your ability to get charge, it has amazed me. Just because my friend plays Zarya and we're just fucking around in comp, and he's like, I have 0 charge. I'm like, what's your average charge? He's like, 3%. And it's just like, we are 2 minutes into this match, man. So your ability to get charge here is just insane.
Help me.
You also have really good bubbles of just like, oh shit, he like not he fucked up, but oh shit, he got fucked. So
Maximum charge. I'm restoring.
Go!
I think playing with Sombra, thanks Sombra. I think playing with Sombra, you don't have to give her resources of a bubble or even damage. I think it's more important to keep track of, / take care of, / be the damage behind Ryan's shield, or Orisa's shield, than anything else. So let Beetle be. If anything, give him less resources and give just because he has an escape. He should be able to escape. Riley can orb him. Frode can pack him. Or I mean, let's just say Riley's the only thing. So Riley can orb him. That's the resources he needs. He doesn't need anything else. Like even just a lob from you, you can be you should be focusing on helping your Ryan.
This is strength. Barriers only charging up. Behind you! Give me your best shot.
Get into position.
I am under attack. I have found the enemy. Face me.
I need to recharge.
动住，不许走！
I do not doubt that bubble on Riley saved him.
My will is unbroken.
Yeah, get him.
Is ready. Proceed without fear.
Get into position.
Heavy fire! Rally to me!
So like here, fight won or lost. Since you don't grav, I believe that you know that the fight is won. I think you have that game sense. So this is where you just be like, fight won, no one else ult, or yeah, because I mean no one else but you has ult. But my point still stands. If like, yeah, it's just helpful to know how to play, and I think you have that game sense of being able to say, the fight has been won. Fuck. Unlockers.
冻住，不许走！
I'm securing the objective. Anyone want to join?
Без труда не вытащишь и рыбку из пруда.
Pro tip, you can fuck bomb hop back to point for faster use. Or faster way back.
Огонь по готовности.
If you wanted to be fucking ballsy and call the fact that Pharah had ult, you could have just fucking grabbed her right there. That would have been clutch as fuck.
Charging up. Give me your best shot.
Again, here. Is the fight won or lost? Since you held on to grav here, I believe that you know that the fight has been lost. And so, say so. That is one of the amazing things that you could calm. And if you are vocal about it, that would be great. Because it lets everyone else know how to play. Either like if there's a big ass pit to just jump off of, or just contest for it since you guys are in, you have the point, just contest as long as possible. And so what? Or even just, can we trickle on and get this to 99? So, stuff like that. That's something amazing that you could calm.
I will never surrender.
Free your mind.
Ready for battle. Is that all
Get
you
into
want?
position.
I have no idea why you took this flank. I think it was to maybe get a sneaky grav off, but you got fucked by a Reaper. You are so lucky he had to reload.
Speedy recovery.
Armoring you up.
Experience tranquility.
Огонь по готовности. This is strength.
Okay, I want to say, as much as you did grav here and it did win the fight, did you have to though? Like, you had trans behind you guys. I think you guys might have just won anyway. Or could we have just coalesced instead? Not that the grav isn't a good use here. It's just, I think we could have gotten away with less resources. But that's very 2020 is, or hindsight is 2020.
You have my thanks.
Rally to me.
Very good bubble on the thing there. Oh, break. That Reaper looked scary. That was a good bubble.
Get in there. Don't be shy. Hit me.
Team up for special attack.
Barriers on. I am on fire. Thank you. You have my thanks.
冻住，
Give me your
不许
best
走！
shot. Get in there. You have my thanks.
Armoring you up.
Bring it.
Experience tranquility.
Okay, so I think you know this, but the correct way to shoot into the grav if you're that close, if you don't want to just single focus someone down, is right-click melee, because melee is AoE and right-click is AoE, so it does the most damage. So like if you did like a single or a double grav, laser them, because sure. But since you had 3 people here, I think the best option was to right-click melee. And so, yes, you killed the other 2 very quickly, but it's you would have gotten there, especially with Brick just standing right there. Hi, Riley. Anyway, next point.
I'm giving you a little. Get in there.
Feel cold aiming behind.
Barrier activated. I'm giving you a little. Get in there. That's all you've got. Bring it. Let's see how. Barrier gone. Barrier activated. Maximum charge. Take the pain.
I think we would have won this if Frode packed you instead of Riley, but close enough.
Без труда не вытащишь и рыбку из пруда. Ready for battle.
Where the fuck did that 30 damage or 30 energy come from?
Gale the Mahal.
Okay, so playing against a Mei, that was a really good bubble because you took it for the Orisa. That's just a really good tech that Mei's thing doesn't pierce bubble, and so taking it for her is really good because you can cut off the. That's just really good. Hi Zen. I think you win this fight.
Taking the objective.
A temporary setback. Get in there. Barriers on you.
Gale the Mahal.
Okay, all of your thoughts here were really good. It just ended up that some thoughts on, yeah, their thoughts were better. It's just, you did really well with bubbling, you did well with sort of trying to damage the right people, but it's just, yeah. We're gonna move on, because the rest is just,
Get in there. Give me your best shot. Help me. I will lead us to victory.
That is the first time you fuck that Ryan Shatter up. It's not the last. Faster!
Experience tranquility.
Allow me to repair the damage.
Barriers on you. Go. Ready for battle. Full charge. Hit me.
冻住，不许走！
Yeah. I went too far.
This will restore you.
Eh.
Join me.
Let's call that one a dry push. Because it was. Okay, so don't feel bad calling for bubble rotations, especially if you're gonna calm and be loud about it. Is if you have 80 energy going into this grav, you do a lot of fucking damage, and especially if you right click melee, you'll do a lot of damage. And so don't feel bad about saying I need 12 seconds, or because especially at last fight, like 70 seconds or 70% compared to 80%, especially with how long all of these fights have dragged out for. Don't feel bad about calling bubble rotation, because you are more prepared if you have 80 charge than, or even just like 40 charge. But you are more prepared if you have that charge than coming into this fight with 0. So that's the only thing. So like if you take 12 seconds or even 8 seconds to just, because you don't have to use personal, let's say. So if you take 8 seconds and just call that rotation, if just like, I need to get 40 charge, or I need to get at least some amount of charge off, go for it. It's much more worth it, and unless it's like you guys need to get to point immediately, it's never a bad thing.
Ready for battle.
Experience tranquility.
Reinforcing position.
Oh, let's break it!
冻住，不许走！
This and claim the
My
objective.
will is unbroken.
Walk faster. Riley just popping off, it's fine.
Give me your best shot.
Fuck yeah.
Weak mind, weak body.
Like, just watch this again.
Touchdown!
Yeah. Anyway. Cool.
Wiek żywi, wiek ucis.
Okay, so music's gonna play. Okay, so just to recap, DM usage, and the DM cooldown did change. I have fly usage marked a little bit, just peeling for Rhine. A boop is a boop. That's a, yeah. There's also cover as mini, so like, when I get popped out of mech, I run and hide, sort of, and I mean, unless I have to reset, I sort of run and hide and sort of play back as far back as I can, like in the back line basically, and just try to get my mech back. Because if it's a long enough fight, you getting your mech back is a lot more worth than you just being there and doing a tiny bit of damage. I think you can look this up, but like the fly melee burst, of being able to fly into someone and melee them. Yeah. Yeah, Pharah, just hover, like hover practice, demanding the pharmacy to be on you, to be aggressive. And for Anubis, starting on high ground, sort of, because you can set up there, will keep you in the air, though it is a low skybox. It's sort of hard to do that, but landing on high ground, like starting on high ground, jumping from high ground, and then landing back on high ground is a good way of just staying in the air. The rocket jumping is a really good tech. That's, yeah. The right click punch combo into a grav, that's something that's really good to do. Playing against Mei, you know, it looks like you know how to play against that. It's calming, like it's more calming that just like, you're gonna be safe, it's fine. I know they have a Mei, just trust me on this one. Yeah, and I guess hitting the Q button a little bit. I mean, you save it. I think if you work on calling fight won, fight lost, even quick play, when like we play, it'll make so much more difference when we do it, just because, or have a game, just because it tells so much information so quickly that it's one of the better calls that you can make. And I think you have the game sense to do it. Yeah, and I am still amazed that you have, I like, just the average amount of charge that you have is incredible. So good job on that, and good job playing through all of this. I think you did really well. I think it was, especially Zarya was really good. Sorry, I'm nitpicky on D.Va just because I like her, and I think I have my most hours on D.Va, so that's just, sorry. But yeah, both of them were really good. Pharah, I don't really know if we're gonna be running pharmacy a lot, just because of how it worked out. I think we should try it more, in comp, or not comp, in quick play, and see how well it goes, and see if you can really just know to be aggressive and when to be aggressive. And I think that'll be something we can put in our back pocket and hope for the best on. Yeah. So, cool.